Movement, Not Miracles. I am Anna from Eat, Move, Be Happy, and I just lost connection. I am still here, I am back. I'm Anna from Eat, Move, Be Happy, that's what I was in the process of saying, and Movement, Not Miracles is your bite-sized version of ways to look after your posture, keep your joints mobile and stretch through some of those muscles. And hopefully ward off some of those aches and pains that we can get when we are sitting still for too long. And today I'm continuing with the back theme because my back is still a little stiff, although it does feel a little better than it has been feeling. But we're going to go for back mobility and some stretching through the back of our legs in particular. So a bit of a mix. But they all sort of fit in. Now yesterday it was quite a gentle all over session. Today you definitely need to be able to get on the floor in order to be able to do the moves today. So if you're not able to do that, it might be better to go and look at another one of the videos. If you check out the website www.eatmovebehappy.com, Movement Not Miracles, and you can look at the archive video there. But for those of you that are going to be joining in with me, we need to use the floor, and we're going to start with a bit of an all over, one of my favourites. You've done this one with me before, downward dog. So a basic yoga move which is going to stretch through our shoulders, our upper back, and get some movement through our upper back, and also stretch through the back of our legs. So on all fours to start off with. It doesn't matter that you can't see my head, that bit's not important. Tucking your toes underneath, hands directly underneath your shoulders, and we're going to lift up through our hips and push back through our arms. So your bottom comes up in the air, and we're aiming for, let your head relax, and we're aiming for heels as close to the floor as you can. Just, well, not to start off with, that's what we're aiming for all the way through, but to start off with, lifting your hips up. So you're going to feel that stretch down the back of your legs, and you're going to feel some work through your upper back. We'll just bring that one back down. And then just to remind you that this one is, we can just exist in that shape. We can just stick our bum up in the air, and I'm not working at all through here, and you can see my back's a little bit rounded, and I've not got really any stretch from my shoulder blades. But the minute I start to work, so I'm really lifting up through my hips now and pushing down through my shoulders, you should see the shape change, and that's what we're aiming for. So just as we need our shoulders away from our ears and squeezing our shoulder blades together onto your back, just like we do in that shoulder roll. So think of that position when your arms are up like this. So you're working quite hard through the muscles in your upper back in order to get some movement there and to get the movement through the shoulders. So that's what you're aiming for. And you get the stretch through the back of the legs. And we'll focus more on the stretch in the back of the legs with a different one in a minute. So lifting up through the hips, relaxing through your head, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep breathing. This is one of my go-to postures when everything's just feeling a little bit stiff and a little bit sore, because it does work through pretty much everything. So if you can do it, it's worth persevering with. Right, now I'm going to take it to child's pose. So this one for me helps me get a little bit more stretch and movement in my lower back in a nice safe way. It's a forward bend, it's a relatively safe forward bend, so even if you've got a bit of a temperamental lower back, because you are supported, this one is quite a good one to try. Moving down nice and gently, so I think of leading with my chest. So I'm not folding down like this, I'm thinking of chest forward and my bottom stays on my heels. So my toes are together and knees are wide. Trying to keep my bottom on my heels, so I'm pushing my bottom backwards, leading with my chest, arms reaching out again, so you get nice work through your shoulders. Again, my shoulder blades are squeezing onto my back, so you're going to be working through your lat muscles here to make that happen. And if you can, rest your head on the floor. This just makes it a bit more relaxing. If you can't reach the floor, you can hold your head in that neutral position, or get something to rest your head on. You can get more work through your shoulders if you can rest through your head as well. So I'm thinking of tilting my pelvis under to try and keep my bottom on my heels. Now they've lifted off ever such a slight bit. So by tilting my pelvis under, I'm getting some more movement through my lower back. And just a couple of breaths, nice and relaxed. Well, relaxed through everything else, but you should be working quite hard through your shoulders. So pushing the hands into the floor. Okay, and then come up nice and slowly. So as with most of these postures, there is work through the muscles in your body in order to get into the posture and get the most benefit from it. So we're not just existing in that posture. Now we need to turn over and go onto our back, and we're doing curling our bodies up, so your knees up towards your chest. You can relax your head down, and we're just going to roll our knees over to one side. So rolling your knees, and I think of taking your knees towards your armpit, keeping your knees together and trying to keep this shoulder on the floor as much as possible. So you've got a nice twist in your body, but this time it's working through the mid and the lower back. So my shoulder lifts up off the floor, so I'm trying to keep that shoulder down, but just rolling on the other side as well. So you're going to feel a bit of a stretch across your abdomen. So my bottom's up off the floor a little bit. If that's quite hard work, hug your knees in and roll them over. And then just to finish off, think of rounding yourself into a little ball and just rolling in a circle. So you're hugging your knees in, bottoms up off the floor. And just massage that lower back on the floor. Okay. So that's a bit of movement through the lower back. We're now going to do a bit more work on getting some twist through the upper back, but again we're going to do this one staying on the floor. So I call this the Crocodile Stretch, and we've done this one before. So this time we're going to be lying on your side with your legs bent a little bit. Now this top knee comes forward. Now it doesn't have to stay on the floor, and if you've got something to rest it on, and I have some magic blocks here, cushion will do, or a pillow, something like that, something to rest it on. And then think of your arms as the crocodile arms. So you're going to reach over, leading with your thumb, keeping this other arm on the floor. I don't know whether you can see that. I think I'm just about in shot. So this time it's more movement and twist through your upper back, and lifting your knee up and supporting it takes it away from the lower back. So we've done the lower back with the first one, now we're going for the upper back. And leading with the thumb, so you're squeezing that shoulder blade together and seeing how close to the floor you can take that shoulder. And we'll just do one more on this side, and then I'll show you from the other side. We'll swap over. Breathe out as you twist round. and coming back. So I'm going to swap the setup to the other side. Move down a little bit as well actually so you can see my arms. So rolling over, supporting that knee, lying on my side. Now I'm leading with my thumb, and you can see to start off with how far away I am from the floor with this shoulder. Hopefully, yeah, you can just about see. And as you breathe out, see if you can go a little bit further. And then we'll do it again. Because the second time is always better. My cats are conspicuous by their absence today. They've decided not to join in. Okay, at least we haven't got to put up with them having a little bit of a fight like they did yesterday. And once more. And keep breathing. You get a nice twist across your abdomen, and it works me in my upper back and into my shoulders. Ooh, hand is on the floor that time. So it's taken me 3 goes to be able to get a bit of a fuller twist. And that's okay. Okay, so back should feel a little bit more stretched, a little bit more worked. My upper back has been causing me some issues. Right, I'm going to do some forward bend leg stretches now, again from seated, just to finish off. And you can use a strap to help you if you are not that bendy in your hamstrings, the muscles in the back of your legs. I've got a yoga strap. You can use a dressing gown belt, you can use a normal belt, you can use a tea towel, something to loop around the bottom of your feet. So first of all, set up. So think of not sitting on the fleshy part of our bum. So a lot of the time we'll sit like this. And what we want to be doing is sitting up on the bones of our bottom, turn like this, and sitting nice and tall. So we're not like this, sitting nice and tall. So straight away you've got to work through the muscles in your back and your belly to support your weight. And I'm just going to, mat's on a bit of a skew whiff, but there we go, so you can see. So my legs are not dead together just because my hamstrings are not that flexible, so they're a little bit apart, and I'm sitting up tall out of my pelvis. And what we're aiming to do is to reach forward, but to reach forward to bend from our groin area. So I'm not reaching like this. I see a lot of people sort of, they sit back and down, and if my arms aren't long enough, and they won't be unless you move forward from your groin. Now, if you can, get hold of your toes. If I turn around this way, you see a little better. So the sideways version. So I'm thinking of moving my belly button along my thighs. If you cannot reach your toes, you see them just about, you can loop your belt around the bottom of your toes and you can still get the same movement. So we're aiming for a stretch down the back of the legs, and it's easier to get that if you can get hold of your toes or the belt to hold yourself, to brace yourself against. And the other thing that being able to resist on your feet is if I show you from the side, if you watch the shape of my upper back, so I'm not really working, I'm stretching through the back of my legs, but I'm not working through my upper back at the moment. But when you work through your upper back, it's a subtle move, but can you see the difference in the shape? So again, I'm thinking of bringing my chest forward. I'm pushing my legs hard into the floor. So I'm actually working through my quads, the muscles in my thighs, to push my legs down so that my hamstrings, which are the muscles on the back of my legs, can stretch. Muscles work in partnership, so they work together. Oh, that feels quite good. Because because they were a little bit tight. Right, and the next one that we're going to do, foot, inside of the foot into the inside of that thigh, and let your knee relax down. Again, sitting up nice and tall, and I will need the belt for this one because I am a bit tight at the moment. So whichever leg is straight, the opposite arm is aiming towards the foot. So if you've got the belt, you can get hold of the belt as close to your foot as you can. So this time you're going to feel the stretch down the straight leg, but I also feel more of a stretch in the base of my back here and down the side of my body here. So it's shifting the stretch a little bit. Think of moving that belly button along. Can't see my belly button, can you? So there's a slight twist in the body so that you are working along that thigh. Am I going to be, oh, look at that, I can get hold of my toe now. And just relax everywhere else. As you stretch through the muscles, they do relax, and then if you can go a little bit further. But relaxing through the rest of the body helps the muscles relax into the stretch. Okay, so we're going to swap sides. So you might start off with not being able to get into the full stretch, but then over a period of time the muscle relaxes and you can. So again, we're going to sit up tall. This time my right leg, the knee is just relaxed towards the floor. Left leg straight, right arm is going to come forwards. This side is always a little bit better. I can get straight to my foot on this one. So again, relaxing forwards. I've got hold of my toes, pushing my thigh into the floor. This is actually a little better for me than I thought it was going to be. I'm trying to keep my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm trying to keep my chest broad. So I'm not scrunched up like this. And I'm trying to relax. That's a really nice stretch for my outer right hip. For me. Okay, and release. So, a bit of a more of an active mobility and stretch session today, just to help you keep your back mobile. Some different variations. It doesn't really matter which variations you choose to either keep your back mobile. You can do the standing ones, the seated ones, the lying ones. It's just a bit of variety, and sometimes I get a bit more movement out of some rather than others, and it's nice to mix things up a little bit if you can. So don't forget to check out the website www.eatmovebehappy.com for some other ideas on how to look after your health and well-being. There's the video archive for Movement Not Miracles. We've also got our chat with us, our weekly catch up to talk about things health and well-being. No agenda, grab a cuppa, come and join in for a bit of a natter at 4 o'clock on a Thursday every week, via Zoom now. So if you want to join in, then please let me know through the website or through the Facebook peer support group, and I'll send you the Zoom link. Chat with us is open to anybody in our peer support group and anybody on any of our coaching programs, and you turn up when you are able to turn up. So that's tomorrow, and well, I'll see you tomorrow for Movement Not Miracles. I can't think of anything else to say. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and don't forget, keep moving. Doing something is better than doing nothing. So keeping those joints mobile and reminding ourselves of a good posture, and hopefully ward off some of those aches and pains. So I will see you tomorrow.